Welcome to the Heart My Fitbiz podcast, where we will be covering everything you need for inspiration, motivation, and practical advice in how to create a thriving fitness business. Hi, and welcome to this week's podcast episode. Today, we're going to be doing more of a practical one, really, because I think, and again, I've talked about this before, possibly not on one of my podcast episodes, but I have talked about it before. And we're going to be talking about repurposing your content, because it's so easy on social media just to feel overwhelmed with posting everywhere and to create content over and over again, new content, and always creating that new content. So I thought it'd be a really good opportunity to do a podcast on it. And hopefully it will help you avoid the overwhelm. So we'll discuss several different things, and we'll also I'll also go into how you can do it all for like your online classes and different things like that. So what do I mean by repurpose? So it basically what it says, using the same posts or reels or videos, content on several different social media platforms in several different ways on the same social media platform. So it's always you can use it in new, fresh ways, but it's the same content. So again, it means that you don't have to keep creating new content. You can repurpose what you've already created and use it in a slightly different way, and also not just use it in a slightly different way, but how to share to multiple places using the one post that you created for Instagram, and how you can use it on different platforms. So really, this might be overwhelming at first to get your head around, but it's so much easier in the long run. So do persevere with it, because it makes sense, and it does make things a lot easier. So let's talk first of all about any content that you're creating, or any social media platform that you're on. So you might be on just one social media platform. You might be on Facebook, you might be on Instagram, you might be on both, you might be on TikTok, you might be on lots of other different things. Let's just clarify, you don't have to be on every single social media platform. And actually, Facebook and Instagram are relatively interlinked, and you can schedule to both at the same time. So that's always really, really handy, and they go kind of hand in hand. But I would say stay with the one that resonates more with you, where your ideal clients are the most, and the one that you can just get your head around and really master before you move on to another one. Saying that, if you have got everything set up on lots of different social media accounts, then this is going to help you lots. So I tend to focus on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube a little bit. So those are my three places where I tend to post and where I repurpose content. And so let's start with video content. Let's start with reels and video and how to repurpose that. Now, I use the app InShot a lot, literally every single day. Love it. And again, you can use whatever app you want to edit your videos. And it's basically what you're used to. I'm used to InShot because it's what I used to use Splice. And then I went to InShot, but I've used InShot a lot. And it's just easy and straightforward. But remember, if you don't find it easy to begin with, just keep persevering, or find an app that works for you. So anyway, I use InShot to edit all my videos, because I do a lot of my filming on my phone. Even my online classes, I do a lot on my phone. So I everything's on my phone, and InShot is a really good app. Anyway, what was I saying? So creating videos. So say like you've created a reel, and this is what I tend to do. So take, like all of my podcast episodes, like all of my trainings and courses, I always say, take what you want from it and personalize it so it suits you. So this is what I personally do. If there's an easier way, let me know. But also, this is the way that I found easiest, and if something else easier comes up, then I will obviously share that. But say you're doing a reel. So I've just done a reel on my 2 of my Instagram accounts. And what I tend to do is save that reel. So I do captions. So say like I've just done a video. Sometimes I do the video straight in Instagram in the reels. Sometimes I film the video on my phone camera and it's a minute. So you might think, oh, I haven't got time to do reels, but really face to camera reels, 1 minute of you talking about whatever you do. Maybe it's the benefits of something. Maybe it's 3 things that can help your clients. Maybe it's you talking about a service or class that you've got. 1 minute, and just really practice talking about things for a minute. And I think reels now actually on Instagram are 90 seconds. So it's not a lot of your day. You can talk straight into your camera for 1 minute and then literally upload it for another 2 minutes, 3 minutes out your day. Bish bash bosh, done. Okay, so get used to that if you want to do reels. It doesn't have to be fancy. So I've done a reel. I've talked for a minute. I've uploaded that video. I've gone into reels on Instagram. And the first thing I do is add captions. So anyone who hasn't got their sound on can read through what I'm saying if it's a face-to-camera video. And then the captions are on there, and I place them on the video where I can then edit the video into a square or a normal size video, and I can edit it that way. So it tends to be in a place, so say like I've got my face on the camera, just maybe under my chin or across my forehead where those captions are. So that's basically transcribed everything that I'm saying in the video so people can read it. I love that. So then you can just save that. So then I save it. And then I finish off with the reels. So I might add music, see what music is trending, put some trending music on, make sure I've got my voice, if it's a voice one, higher than the music, so the music is in the background. I write a little comment, nothing too long for reels really, I just tend to do a short caption, and then I save it and I post it, publish it to Instagram. So that's a reel on Instagram. I've now got that saved to my camera roll, and I can do it as a story. So I could post that as a story, and sometimes I do it the other way around. Sometimes I do a story on Instagram, save that story, and then another day that is a reel. So again, that's repurposing my story into a reel. So I always think like that. If I do a story on one day, it's usually a reel the next day. And again, on stories, you can add the captions. You can do everything the same that I've just told you. So you add the captions, save it to your camera roll. It's then on your camera roll, and from there, I might just post it on other platforms. So for instance, a reel is like a story size video. So I can now share that to my Facebook stories. I can share it in a Facebook group that has the reels on. I can share it just as a video on a Facebook page in a Facebook group, and I can also share it to YouTube short videos. I also, if it's valuable content, I also turn it into a normal size video and upload it as a video to YouTube. And sometimes I send it out to my email list as well. So I'll upload it to my website, send it out to my email list. So already just a 1 minute reel has turned into a multitude of different uses. It's the same video, it's the same reel, and I've used it as a reel on Instagram, a story on Instagram. I could even use it, because obviously if you're saving the reel as a post, it obviously becomes a post, a square on your grid. I've used it, so that's pretty much 3. We'll count that as 3. I then post it in my Facebook group as a reel or a post. I post it on my Facebook page. my Facebook stories, that's 6 now, and YouTube shorts. And it literally takes me like 5-10 minutes. So it's a 1-minute video, it's posted everywhere, and even again I can now share that YouTube video. So it's like eight places I can share that video to. My emails, put it in an email if it's a valuable video that people can watch. I send it out in my newsletter and in an email. So that's pretty much like 10 ways you can use a 1-minute reel. And then I save it. I save it to OneDrive in a folder. And if ever I am having a day where I'm super busy and I haven't got time to create any new content, I have got a whole folder of content. Again, I've got a Reels folder that I just choose one, download it, and I just post it again. Do it as a story. So repurpose. And also, you've also got your Reels there. So, share them to your stories again. If you're not sure what to post on your stories, go to your Reels, share one of your Reels, share one of your posts. Really think about what you've already created and how you can repurpose it and reshare it. So that's in the sense of creating a reel. Let's talk about posts. So I do reels, like videos, and I also do graphics. So I usually do a quote post or like an inspirational post, which is like a Twitter style. You can go to my Instagram account and have a look, but it's like a Twitter style written text thing. And also I do carousels and plain text, which is like a carousel is basically a post mainly on Instagram that people can swipe along and get tips or advice or several pictures basically on your grid in one post. So I do those a lot. And again, every time I create something new, I save it to OneDrive, to my folder, to my carousel posts folder, to my Twitter style posts, quote post folder. So I've always got it there to use again. And so you're creating up this backlog, this kind of catalog of social media posts that you can just use again and again and again. And if you're using something again, you've used it, you originally did it like 30 days ago or 90 days ago. So nobody's really going to remember. And even if they do remember, it's always nice to share things again so people are reminded and people can learn if they haven't seen it the first time. Remember, not everyone sees your posts. So to repurpose your content means that people get a second opportunity to see it, and the people that didn't see it the first time round get to see it again. So you don't have to keep creating. So everything I do is saved, and that might sound a little bit tedious, but it's a lifesaver if I'm having a really manic week and I just need content to put out. I also try and schedule content. Some weeks I'm not inspired to do that, and some weeks I do it all the time. Some months I do it all the time. So some months I'll be more like, what do I feel like posting today? And I'll do like a reel. And some months I'm like, I just need to schedule everything this month because it's going to be a manic month and I want to know that things are going out daily. So that's social media, and those graphic style posts that you're creating, you can use again on your grid on Instagram. You can use it as on your Facebook page in a Facebook group. You can share those to your stories. So again, lots of different ways to repurpose and reshare those. But also they're really good ideas for your blog, for podcasts, for your email newsletter. And I do that all the time. So if I've created a post, especially the ones with the tips and the advice, and I've created a nice long caption for them explaining the tips, even if I haven't done a long caption, the concept of that post is a really good idea then for an email that I can send out to my email list. So that's how I repurpose the text style content of my social media. So say like I've done a post and it's a quote. Say like it's a quote post, and I've written a caption to it. So again, I can't think off the top of my head at the moment, but if it's really inspired somebody, usually I share things that inspire me, and there's usually a story behind that quote, why it inspires me, why I feel that way about the quote. So sometimes the caption is quite long. Sometimes it's just this quote. You just need to see this quote, and that is enough for an email. I often write really long emails in a way that hopefully is easy to follow, but some days one quote is enough to send out to your email list. And that can be just powerful in itself, because I think if you're like me, if you see just one quote or one kind of truth bomb, sometimes that's enough to shift your perspective and really hit home with something. So I often repurpose a lot of my social media content in slightly different ways to my email list as well. Gosh, that's a lot to take in. I might do a little PDF to go with this podcast episode, and maybe a visual masterclass as well, so you can see it in real time. But you kind of get the drift. Now let's talk about the content that maybe you create online. So maybe you've got some lockdown content, maybe you've got content that you're creating on a regular basis for your online clients, and you can use that too. And again, I've talked about this a lot. So I tend to share 10-minute fitness sessions to one of my Facebook pages, and most of those were done in lockdown. I used to do a 10-minute live morning session. But my newer ones are literally my online workouts chopped down into 10-minute sessions. I can then share that to my Facebook page every morning, and I can also upload them to YouTube. So there's videos on YouTube. I can use it for my clients, my paying clients as well. They can use those videos, have them all in one place in a particular order, so they're easier to find. I can then chop that down further into 1-minute videos of like me demonstrating an exercise. I do that a lot with my face yoga videos. Just chop it down into 1 minute so people can do one face yoga exercise. And again, those posts, those videos can be used as posts, as reels, as stories. And you can use the content that you're creating for your paying members, online clients, for your social media content too. So you may already be doing this, which is great. But there may be a few things in here that you think, oh, actually, yeah, that's a good idea. I don't know whether I said about InShot, but InShot basically you can change the ratio of the video. So if I've created a reel, I might create a square version and a normal size video version. Can't remember what I said earlier in the episode. But you can do that with InShot, and you can add your logo over the top with InShot. You can change things up with InShot. So you can do lots of different things and repurpose your content. So I want you to do this. Take this away with you from this podcast episode. I want you next month or this month to do one post per day. And I want you to save those posts. And I want you to practice repurposing those posts to all your different platforms. And I want you to take those posts and see if you can turn them into an email to send out. And I want you to save those posts in a folder. And the following month, I want you to do the same thing. And again, if you're having one of those days where you can't post anything, you'll start to build up this catalog and this library of social media posts that you've used before that you can repurpose and use again. So taking away from this podcast, you're going to post, if you can, once a day. And you're going to save those to somewhere like OneDrive or Google Drive. Save them somewhere so you can easily get them again if you need to. And start building up that backlog of content that you can repurpose. And those posts that you are posting this month, ask yourself, Can I save this to my camera roll and share it somewhere else? Where else can I share this? Where else can I use this? Keep asking yourself those questions, because you're going to really get into the swing of repurposing that content and using it in lots of different ways. Let me know if this has been helpful and useful. Let me know if you want me to create a more visual training of this podcast episode as well. And if you do have any questions, please reach out to me. Join us in the Facebook group. Post your comments below if you're listening to this on the website. And I will reply and I will respond. Or again, you can drop me an email and I will get back to everybody who's asked a question. But yeah, I hope you found that useful. Thank you for joining me for today's episode. If you found anything interesting, inspiring, motivating, useful in this podcast, please reach out to me and let me know. I love to hear your stories and how this has helped you. It's been my aim and my passion to help fitness business owners build thriving fitness businesses, but also build a fitness business without burnout and exhaustion, because that's where I found myself a few years ago. So if you need help with your fit biz, whether it's building online and creating an online service with a website and app and new clients coming into your fitness business on a constant, consistent basis, or maybe you would love help filling your classes and bringing in new clients to your classes every week and every month. Maybe it's social media that you're struggling with in terms of promoting your fitness business. Whatever it is, I think I can help. I have the Heart My Fitbiz members club, which is full of tutorials and masterclasses that's going to help you with a great fitness business mindset and practical tools that you can implement in every area of your fitness business. Or maybe you're teaching 20 plus classes per week and you're burnt out and you're exhausted like I was a few years ago, and you need help taking your fitness business online so you can bring in an online income stream without teaching a single class. And that means you can start teaching only the classes that you absolutely love to teach because you love to teach them. And I can help you do that with the mentorships. We have group mentorships, one-to-one mentorships, and premium mentorships where I do the techie stuff for you. So I will add all the links below if you are looking for more help in creating a thriving fitness business. If not, subscribe to this podcast or follow me on social media so you can get tips and advice on creating a thriving fit biz.